Can't get over husband's lies and hidden drug addiction. Created a burner account to post this, for obvious reasons. I, 29F, have been with my husband, 28M, for almost 13 years. We were teenagers when we got together and still had a lot of growing out to do, but also had to grow up quickly. I don't come from a good childhood, so I was on my own as a teenager quite often. Because of who my parents are, I chose very strongly to stay away from drugs. My husband was quite the opposite and was very much a party animal, doing all sorts of drugs. We moved in together a year into our relationship, still teenagers, and at the time he abused coke quite a bit. I got fed up and gave him an ultimatum, either me or the drugs. And he has what I thought chosen me. Well, come to find out, 10 years, a marriage, and 4 children later, I was extremely wrong and he was extremely good at hiding his addiction. Everything came crashing down a couple months after our 4th child was born. He works out of town. I was very trusting of him. Him and other workers often would go to town while up at work, go out to eat, the strip club. I was fine with it all. I trusted him with everything in me. But then I started seeing some red flags. He had to pull money out for energy drinks because the camp's convenience store's debit machine was down. He had to pull money out at the strip club because they only took cash. We share bank account, so he knew I would see these transactions and I guess wanted to have an excuse out there before I even had to ask. He had come home from camp, and after he fell asleep that night, I searched his phone. And sure enough, I found deleted messages and messages he forgot to delete. I was very upset, but I remained respectful and asked him to just be honest with me. He told me it happened a few times when they go out, but never went farther than that. A couple weeks later, I very randomly found out that someone in our friend group first tried coke with my husband when we would go out the bar years ago. This person had no idea what I had just found it. It was just a very random topic that came up. I was very caught off guard and texted my husband and let him know what I found out. He owned up to it and was very apologetic. A few weeks later, I just had this gut feeling that he was hiding more from me. I didn't know what exactly. I just knew there was more. He was away at camp and I had texted him to let him know I'm uneasy and if there was anything else he needed to let me know, to tell me there. He said there wasn't anything really. I then found our iPad that he would sometimes bring to camp and I went crazy searching through it. I found a picture of an email login with a random name. I confronted him and told him to own up to everything now because our relationship could not handle any more lies. He finally fully fessed up to having an addiction. He was doing coke all during his shifts, sometimes wouldn't sleep for days, and also snorted his Ritalin as well. The email was to make an OnlyFans account. He said he chose not to make it because he has no way of paying for it without me finding out. OnlyFans in my eyes is cheating, so a very hard boundary. He was his regular self at home. Very loving, attentive, a good dad. Didn't come across shady at all. Anyways, over the years things have been coming to light about times he has done coke, and although I aware of him never stopping it when I gave him that ultimatum when we were teenagers, when I hear about instances where I was there, and he was doing it just makes me feel extremely hurt. And there were so many times. He is a little bit over a year clean now, and I am so proud of him. I supported him through this all, and will continue to support him. My heart aches for him that he has to struggle with something like this, but I am also struggling. I feel like the wound of the broken trust, lies, etc. can never heal because I constantly find out from him and people in our friend group about times he was essentially shady. Today I had found out that he has used Reddit to search OnlyFans girls. I thought when I said the millions of times that OnlyFans was a very hard boundary for me, it was safely assumed anything with OnlyFans attached to would not be okay with me. And now this has again brought up hurt feelings of broken trust for me. How the hell do I stop having such hurt feelings about things from the past and genuinely move on from it all? I hate feeling like this.